Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Arjun Chaudhary. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Thursday, the 4th of June. Nationalist leaders call Pakistan's move to hold Gilgit elections unconstitutional. New Delhi registers concern over US arms sale to Islamabad. And standing ovation at Cannes, an honour for India, says Masan director. And now for all the details. As Pakistan is getting ready to hold elections in its occupied region of Gilgit-Baltistan, locals have questioned Islamabad's right to conduct polls. They are considering Islamabad had no constitutional authority over the region.
The Balwaristan National Front has termed the upcoming vote a drama of Islamabad and an insult to the people of Gilgit-Baltistan. The BNF in a statement said that the election under Pakistan constitution is illegal as it does not recognize Gilgit as its province, neither is the country's constitution applicable in the remote region. The party also claimed that only candidates from Pakistani political parties are allowed to contest while the nationalist leaders are facing threats. It further called for a boycott of the vote scheduled for next Monday as the elected 24-member House has no practical powers. Gilgit, which has been under Pakistani occupation for over 6 decades, has been remotely administrated by the government in Islamabad through a Gilgit-Baltistan Council headed by the Pakistan Prime Minister. Despite a semblance of democracy, the council has a stranglehold over everything, including taxation and natural resources here. Pakistan has been for long exploiting the Himalayan region, including building a number of hydroelectric projects to fight the crippling electricity crisis the country is facing. But majority share of the power generated goes to light up powering Pakistan's big cities. Islamabad, which has always claimed that the dispute with New Delhi over Gilgit should be resolved in accordance with a UN resolution, has however shown disregard to the accord and handed over vast areas to China, its only ally in the region. India had earlier this week termed the latest elections as Pakistan's camouflage to cover up its illegal occupation in Gilgit.
India has expressed concern over the US decision to sell arms to Pakistan. Washington had in April cleared a request from Islamabad to procure arms and ammunition worth $952 million to strengthen its fight against militants in Pakistan's tribal areas.
While US Defense Secretary Ashton Carter concluded his visit to India on Thursday, the two countries ended up signing a 10-year strategic deal to jointly develop and manufacture defense equipment and technology. These include jet engines, aircraft carrier designing and next-generation protective suits for chemical and biological warfare. The deal was agreed between the two sides in January during US President Barack Obama's trip to India. Carter, who was in the country for a 3-day visit, also met Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj, apart from Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar. During his meeting with the US Defence Secretary, Parrikar expressed New Delhi's concern over Washington selling arms to Islamabad.
I'll not comment on specific, but any arms sale to Pakistan is a concern to India.
Pakistan had sought to buy 15 AH-1Z Viper helicopters alongside 1,000 Hellfire missiles and a host of other communications and training equipments for strengthening its weapon base. Even though Islamabad claimed that the weapons will be used to fight the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, many including former Pakistan envoy to the US Hussein Haqqani had warned that it could be used against India in Kashmir and to suppress the independence movement in Balochistan. Pakistan, which had a defense budget of $678 billion in its fiscal year of 2014-2015, allocated 23.1% of its total GDP for the forces. Its defense budget has also seen a steady increase, competing against neighboring India, which is the world's largest weapons importer.
Pakistani social activists living overseas say that the Islamabad government has failed to protect the religious minorities and indigenous people of southern Sindh province. They also condemn the free hand given to radical outfits in the region.
The minority Hindu community, which has a strong presence in Pakistan's southern Sindh province, has seen an increase in attack on the community members and their places of worship, Lakhu Luhana, the chairperson of World Sindhi Congress, has said. He also claimed that despite the alarming increase in targeted attacks, authorities have failed to bring to justice any culprits.
Sindhi Hindus, who are the indigenous people of Sindh, उनके खिलाफ वायलेंस में बहुत शिद्दत आई है. मसलन from March 2014 to March 2015, there have been reported 19 attacks of burning or vandalism on Sindhi Hindu temples. और आप you'll be surprised that not a single culprit has been arrested.
Sindh province has recently seen a spike in forced conversions and marriages of even minor girls.
अब गुज़िश्ता 2-3 महीनों में 8-10 केसेस हुए हैं सिंधी हिंदू गर्ल्स के forced abduction, forced conversion, then forced marriage. और इसमें अलार्मिंग चीज़ ये है कि most of these girls, they are under 16.
Luhana also claimed that many banned organizations are running religious centers with impunity, which they use to radicalize its students against the minorities.
जो religious organizations हैं, जो religious outfits which are banned by international community, by UN, by USA, such as Jamaat al-Dawa, Haf Saeed, हर हफ्ते वहाँ पे बैठा हुआ है. They're making a chain of madrasas. So one thing is sure, that they want to vacate this area from the indigenous population. 2, they want to radicalize it.
The recent discovery of huge deposits of coal in the province, which has led to large-scale migration from across the country, is also threatening the existence of indigenous people of Sindh.
They had monetary power centuries back, but they stand witness to a much valuable legacy from around the world today. Take a look at how this rare currency exhibition opened the pages of history for aficionados.
Despite living in a world of plastic currency, these pieces of paper and metal from the medieval times left visitors amused in India's southern Coimbatore. The rare assortment of currencies, coins and stamps also gave a glimpse of its historic connotations. From the world's largest currency note to the first postage stamp, the 2-day exhibition boasted of a unique collection from 323 countries. The antique event also presented an array of gold, silver and steel stamps, besides the world's biggest stamp too. Coins in different shapes and sizes also gripped the attention.
I went to many stamp exhibitions, but this is the first time I'm seeing this much lot of currencies. I have seen world's biggest currency. I have seen silver coins, gold coins. I like the most the Eiffel Tower coin.
Philatelist Jesh Kumar Pandian was happy to display his personal collection. The currency enthusiast said it was an attempt to preserve currencies and stamps whose usage has declined after the advent of electronic mail and online transaction.
Most of them are using the mails and couriers, so they stopped using the stamps. So the stamps awareness is going down. So we have to, for example, money. 90% of the money is in the online transfer only. They are not using paper money. Everything is going on only in the transaction. Most of the money is in the bank or in a locker.
Pandian currently holds several records for his unique collection. He was also inducted into the Indian Achievers Book of Records on Sunday.
It was a night of devotion and lights as Muslims in India and Pakistan prayed for their ancestors to mark the holy night of deliverance. Take a look.
Muslim community across Pakistan marked the holy festival of Shab-e-Barat with religious fervour, praying for their departed ancestors and seeking forgiveness for their past sins. Mosques across the country remained illuminated all night through as hundreds gathered at the various shrines to offer obeisance.
इस रात बंदा तौबा करता है, अल्लाह ताला की इबादत करता है और आइंदा जो आने वाले साल के लिए अपने लिए और अपने अहल के लिए दुआ करते हैं।
Devotees also visited the graveyard of their ancestors to perform the holy ritual of Fatiha.
हम बड़े बड़े जो त्यौहार बनाते हैं उसी तरीके से एक ये दिन अल्लाह ताला ने हम लोगों को दिया है इसलिए कि हम लोग अपने जितने मुर्दा होते हैं, जितने हमारे मरहूम होते हैं, हम उनके लिए दुआएं करते हैं, घरों में लोग नियाज बांटते हैं। इस तरह से हमारे मरहूम को सुकून पहुंचता है।
Muslims in neighboring India also took to devotion. Many also held night-long vigils, singing sermons and seeking blessings for a good fortune. Rebellious took to religious meetings.
वो रात जिससे कि हमें छुटकारा मिलना है, जिससे कि हमें निजात मिलनी है, यानी उन चीज़ों से कि जो हमने गुनाह किए हैं, जो गलत काम किए हैं, उससे माफ़ी अपने अल्लाह ताला से हम अपने रिस्क के लिए, अपने कारोबार के लिए उससे मांगें और जो बुराइयां हमसे हुई हैं उसकी माफ़ी तलाफ़ी करें और आइंदा ना करने की कोशिश करें।
Shab-e Barat falls on the 15th day of the 8th month of the Islamic lunar calendar. The event commemorates the Prophet's entry to the holy city of Mecca, and Muslims around the world revere the night as a day of atonement.
Audience response is what decides the fate of a film at the box office. But if the adulation gets this big, it surely opens gates for newer avenues for filmmakers. Take a look at who is reaping the fruits of hard work.
When Masaan received a standing ovation at the recently concluded Cannes Film Festival, little did its director Neeraj Gewan know that his tale of struggle and resilience to get inspirational doses would bring his two major awards on the global platform. The film was appreciated by both critics and reviewers alike, making the entire cast and the crew emotional. Speaking about his victorious moment, Gewan said he never expected things to take its course this way.
I never even dreamt of these things. I never even imagined how it would feel like to be even, first of all, getting to the section itself was like a huge thing for me. And it would help the film so much, and it would help the team associate with it so much. And that was itself a big honor. And then winning the two awards was really unbelievable.
Masaan got rave reviews in the uncertain regard category at the big festival and later went on to win both International Federation of Film Critics and promising future awards. Gewan added that such reception would go a long way for bringing change in India's wave of cinema.
We try to say is that right now I think India is at that behest of change where we are really modern, with social media awareness, with the IT technology going so far, with so much of awareness and so much of focus around the world towards India. But yet I think we are still at that paradox where we are also shackled by our own conventions.
Also titled Fly Away Solo, the film that stars Richa Chadha, Sanjay Mishra, Shweta Tripathi and Vineet Kumar and has been produced by maverick filmmaker Anurag Kashyap. The film set in Varanasi follows the lives of a young orphan, a low-caste teenage boy who falls in love with an upper-caste girl apart from a father whose daughter is caught in a sex scandal. As their stories collide, the girl's father, who is fighting a taboo, the young orphan finds an unlikely father figure. Masaan is set to release in India next month.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories, once again. Nationalist leaders call Pakistan's move to hold Gilgit elections unconstitutional. New Delhi registers concern over US arms sale to Islamabad. And standing ovation at Cannes, an honor for India, says Masaan director. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter at SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition, which is same time tomorrow. Good night.